Hello guys, so it is currently the 31st of March 2021 and I am so excited. Well, I have been the last few days to like a couple of weeks, because actually it's been probably just a week, because me and my partner, who you're probably going to see at some point in this video, have decided that we want to try now start the process of getting on the property ladder in June. And the reason for that is we decided a few months ago that or maybe a month or two ago, that we were going to wait until April 2022 to start the process of getting on the property ladder, because we thought we'd wait to give ourselves another year to add an extra £4,000, which is an extra £1,000 bonus into our lifetime ISAs, so that we have as much of a deposit as possible. But we did some research, a little bit of research, to look at what difference that would really make to either the interest rate that we pay or end up paying, or the monthly repayments that would have to pay every single month. And it wasn't that extreme. It wasn't anything that we were like, oh flip, yeah, maybe we should wait a year. We were just thinking, no, it actually doesn't make too much of a difference, so we're going to try and do it this year. So like, if we can do it this year, it's like all the money that we're paying into our rent now is hopefully going to go into our mortgage, which is mega exciting. We would rather get on the property ladder now as soon as possible, rather than keep it going and just keep putting money into renting when we could actually be putting it into our own kind of like investment. So that's what we're going to do. I won't sort of tell you what we want right now until I'm with Steve, and then we can talk about it together. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm adulting, y'all. So Steve and I,
good start to the video, that. So Steve and I
are going to be looking at properties today. We're going to start the process of deciding what it is that we want from a house when we do eventually decide to buy. So we're going to be doing a little bit of research today on, well, spend a lot of time on Rightmove and just have a look at what's about on the market, and just write down some notes of our ideal things of what we see in a property. So for example, I've got down here that we wanted to have 2 bedrooms, we wanted to have a rear garden. It needs to be a property that we can do up, so they call them doer uppers. I can't even say the word, but basically a property that needs work. And we're looking at a price range of anything below £230,000. England is expensive, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be doing a little bit of research today, and just to see what's around, get our ideas together, and then hopefully when June comes around, we know exactly what we want when we're speaking to the mortgage advisor. So it's just a case of seeing where we are financially, what we need to do, what we need to get together, and then go from there. If you're interested, you can keep watching these videos, and I hope that it's encouraging, and yeah, you can see see a different side to it as well, of the process of starting to buy a house. So I hope you enjoy, and see you whenever. This searching business is so confusing. So I use Money Supermarket mortgage calculator to see how much we could potentially get for our mortgage, right? And it came up with a number, and I was like, oh, that doesn't seem feasible. Like, what are we gonna buy with that? And then I actually went on a specific bank. So I went on Santander just to see what mortgage we'd be able to borrow with them with the deposit that we have. And that came out looking a heck of a lot better. So now I'm kind of thinking, so like maybe obviously we need to do a few more calculations and comparisons, because there's just so much to look into. One bank will say this, the other bank will say this, so it's going to vary depending on our circumstances. So that's interesting to note. When you do your research, make sure that you compare. Well, do what you want, but we're going to be comparing a range of different mortgages just to see what we can get. But this is before speaking to a mortgage advisor and seeing what they come up with. So interesting. It feels like it's going to be a long process, but it might not be. So I'm going to try and stay positive about it, because I'm mega excited. But yeah, we still have a couple of months before we get to the stage that we want to be at. So yeah, we'll see. Do some research into buying a house, and this is what I have to deal with. He's just been singing Justin Bieber. This is what I'm doing. Actually sorting out, doing research. Hey guys, Mwaiseni. It is the 11th of April today, and I just thought I would add a little bit more to these house journey videos. I think I last filmed, was it last week? Anyway, it's been a week later and already the roller coasters have started because sis here cannot make up her mind. So basically this weekend I went back and I was with Steve, and then, so if you guys know, I'm a locum, Steve's self-employed, so during all of this we've decided we want to buy a property. I don't know what it's going to be like, me buying a property as a locum and obviously Steve being self-employed. I don't know how it's going to be taken into account, our finances, etc. I think it'll be fine. I'm not too worried about, like, you know, how much we can borrow, but I don't know if how long I've been a locum is going to be a factor. So anyway, the roller coaster that we went through this weekend was me going, okay, so currently my mum lives in Southwest and I have been living for the last nearly 5 years. I was living in Dorset. I was working in Dorset, living in Dorset. That's where I met Steve, and yeah, we kind of just created that life there. So I ended up staying in Dorset, and as a locum now, I've been commuting to work in Wales. I'm actually working in Wales, a whole different country. Obviously it's not far from where my mum lives, but a whole different country to where Steve is currently living. Basically, I went into a little bit of a dilemma literally in the last week. I was like, oh my god, right, so we're thinking of buying a house, and last week, asked me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was sweet, it was fine, like everything was good. Fast forward to a week later and I'm there like, I don't know where I want to buy a house. So initially it was obviously going to be in Dorset, just to make life easier obviously for Steve's work and me being a little bit more flexible with work, that was gonna work. But anyway, fast forward to a week later, I'm there like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy a house in Dorset. Can we try and compromise and buy halfway, because I want to be able to be close to my mum, but I also want to be able to be close to you. So if it's halfway, it's like I don't feel like I'm being spread too thin in a way, because this whole driving business is a lot. It's a lot, and obviously I have to commute to work as well, which is like driving 50 miles every day. Like it's a lot, this whole commuting. Like it can take its toll on my body. So I went through a bit of a dilemma where I was like, I really want to be halfway so that it's easy for me to get to Dorset, but it's also easy for me to see my mum and go to work, etc. But then obviously that created a bit of a situation because Steve isn't really in a position to just up and leave his job, and I completely get that. But then it kind of put a spanner in the works, like, okay, so is us buying a house really the right thing to do right now? Because clearly I might not be 100% sure what the hell I'd be doing, because we want to do this. Like, I know that we want to buy a house together. I know that I want to buy a property. Like, I feel like that's naturally where we're going and where I'm going, but it's the location. But before this, like I said a week ago, I was set on like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Dorset. But now in the last weekend I was like, oh, I don't know if it's the right place, because it's gonna make my traveling to see people very difficult every week, because I'm just tired. I think the whole driving business just makes me realize how much I hate driving. So come to conclusion, actually no, I didn't come to no conclusion. I told Steve that okay, I have to think about it, but then I was like, okay, so I've come back now. I asked my mum, I was like, Mum, what is your actual plan? Because I'm basing this on my mum living where she's living long term. So I was like, let me just speak to her and see what her plan is, because she might not even want to live with us. She might not even want to, you know, like whatever. So I was like, let me ask my mum and see what her actual plan is. And then it turns out anyway that her plan is to, in the future, in the near future hopefully, is to go back home to Zambia and basically stay there, which obviously takes away the pressure for me to feel like I'm leaving her by herself when I'm away living in Dorset. Like, I don't want to feel like that. So I guess that took a little bit of pressure away from the whole situation. But then it just made me think, like, flip, roller coasters be starting already and we haven't even started buying a house. I can see myself being like this, you know, just a roller coaster. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks is just to really think about what the next step is. Like, obviously we know we want to buy a house, but I need to be sure that it's the right thing. So I know it's the right thing, but I just need to validate it properly in myself. Is that the right terms? But anyway, the next few weeks is just about seeing if it's the right thing, because like I said, we want to start looking in June. June is only 2 months away, less than 2 months away. So I need to get my act together and sort it out. Even if I was like, oh yeah, let's buy a property halfway, I don't know where halfway I want to buy. I don't know the areas in between. We don't know nobody. It would be just uprooting to go somewhere where it's just, I haven't really thought it through, guys. Right now, I think I'm just speaking out loud. I'm gonna just end it here, and I'll catch you guys on the next house update on what the hell is going on. But I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me just talk probably just a load of rubbish right now, but hopefully in a few weeks time everything will make sense. But catch me then. And yes, I'm sat on the floor. I don't know why, sometimes I just like to sit on the floor because it just, it's not comfortable because I haven't even got a pillow, but sometimes I just like to sit on the floor for whatever reason. I could even have a sofa then, I'll be sat on the floor. No idea why, but anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next update on this journey.